Hey guys, we're back with our second edition of Mustang Moments. I'm here with Mia Pendleton. You know, we started with Michaela, who was the state champion, and we're going to continue that today with another state champion here with Mia. Before we get into that and we get into swim, tell everyone how long you've attended Oologah-Talala Public Schools.
Yes, I started here at pre-K, and so I've been here roughly 14 years.
So if you don't know, 14-year club is a thing at our school. They get some recognition, and we have a lot of those. We think that's great. All right, so let's jump right into swim. Tell everybody how long you've been swimming, like competitively. What age did you start?
I started at 7. So
you started swimming competitively at 7, racing other kids at 7 years old? Wow, okay. Most of us were just hanging out in the pool. You're swimming. So we're gonna get to this year in COVID, but take us back last year, your sophomore year. You won a state title, individual. You're our first individual state swim champion. Talk to us a little bit about that day. I know you raced a couple different races.
Yeah.
So kind of take us through that day and how you were feeling and what that felt like.
Well, the 50 was my first race.
50 meters.
Yes, and that was my first race. So after I won that, it kind of helped the mood, I guess. And then I went on to a relay, and then I can't think of what we got on that, like 6 or something like that. And then the 100 was after that, and then I came up the second, which, I mean, I wasn't really rooting for getting first in that, but I definitely was trying, and I was pretty close. So.
Sure, and for those that don't know, like those races pretty well go back to back to back. Like, you win first, you get your medal, you're up on the podium, you're right back to swim the relay, get out of the pool, that sort of thing, right back to swim the 100. It's pretty hectic, and it's unfortunate, I think, that those races are back to back. I know Coach Barnes felt strongly that if you'd had a little more recovery time, maybe things would have, you might have won a 2-time state champion as a sophomore. But really, really great. I know everyone's excited. Now let's talk about this year. So I was able to go this year to the state meet. It's a blast. I tell everyone, I coached golf and I coached basketball, but the two most fun things you can go to, state swim, state wrestling, are a blast. And so it's just very condensed, lots of action. You raced a lot this year too, and everything. Because of COVID, they didn't have boys and girls. There were just girls in the afternoon. So talk to us a little bit about that, and then I know you got some sweet revenge on the girl that beat you, but tell everyone about doubling up this year as a state champ.
COVID was definitely a setback. It was more fun with the boys there. It helped the environment go, and it was a lot easier to do state. But winning both those races was definitely a more exciting thing for me. I worked super hard this past year to beat the girl in the 100.
Yeah. So the same girl that beat you last year as a sophomore, you raced again this year, and you were able to beat her in both events. And those of you who don't know, 50 meters, that's a down and back, and 100 is 2 down and back. So you got multiple turns there, and you were crushing it. You're so fast in the water. It's amazing to see. If you've never been able to come to a meet, hopefully things with COVID have calmed down here and you can come, but it's definitely a privilege to watch you swim. You do a really, really good job. Your demeanor, you're always happy. Now, I was fortunate enough, we went and we're sitting kind of by your parents, which is great, but nerve-wracking for me because I'm always, if things don't go well, but things, obviously went well, and they were so happy for you, and I was able to enjoy that moment with them and give some high fives, so that was really cool. Talk to me about pre-race. Do you have any superstitions? Most people have something they do, or?
Normally I mess with my cap and goggles a lot. Make sure they're on and not going to fall off, because that's happened. And when your goggles fall off during a race, it's not.
Yeah, so you hear about sometimes maybe they fill up with water and you're trying to swim, you can't see. That obviously would have to affect you, and you wouldn't want that to happen at the state meet for sure. Talk to us a little bit about what's a normal day of practice, whether it's here or in your competitive team, and we'll get to competitive in a little bit, but what's a normal day of practice? How far do you swim?
Usually during high school practice, we do about a little over 2,000 meters.
Okay. 2,000 meters, roughly 1.25 miles of swimming, which is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So with your competitive team, I know you mentioned earlier that you swim a lot further. So how far might you swim on a competitive day?
Well, right now we normally swim about 3,000 to 4,000 meters, and then the most we've ever swum is about 12,000.
Wow, so 12,000, we did the math ahead of time. 12,000 is like 7.5 miles of swimming in a day. I don't know if you've ever swam, but that's a tremendous amount. And a testament, again, people are like, well, you're racing the 50 or the 100, why are you swimming 7 miles? Well, because you want to be able to be full go the whole 100 meters, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you would do that. That's a tremendous amount of swimming, and that puts a lot of strain on your body too. So swimming 7.5 miles, you have to have some fuel. I know everyone, if you follow the Olympics, you hear about Michael Phelps and him eating 12,000 calories or whatever it was. Do you have like a diet you have to follow, or how's that go?
I basically try to up my protein a lot.
Okay,
Take not energy drinks,
protein shake or
yes,
something?
protein shakes.
Just to try to get the extra calories in.
Yes.
It's hard to eat. You know, people think, oh, you get to eat whatever you want. It's really hard to eat that many calories. It's a lot of food. A lot of food, and you got to eat it the right way so you don't feel bad or still able to perform.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about, I know people know about AAU basketball, it's been around a long time, or competitive softball, competitive everything, but they have competitive swim. So talk to us a little bit about your club team and how that goes.
I do Trident, which is USA swimming.
Okay.
So I compete with USA, and meets and everything are a lot different. It's a lot more strict. It's 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. So
it's a lot. And I know you mentioned they obviously have different tournaments. You were able to compete at the state level and make it out of the state level and into what was
sectional.
Sectional.
Yes.
And so that's obviously a huge deal to compete out and win out of state and be able to go to sectionals and compete. So we'll be watching for you to do some big things there for sure. Tell us a little bit about your experience here at the high school. What's your favorite class? I know you mentioned maybe it changes every year. What are some favorite classes you've had here?
My favorite classes would probably be like trig, biology too.
We don't get a lot of trigs for your favorite class. So definitely like math, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you liked art?
Yes.
Yeah, art's fun. Mr. Brown does a good job. All right, so a couple of last things here. I know a lot of people don't know, but this year you actually competed with an injury.
Yes.
Pretty well the whole year, right? And so you're able to go win 2 state titles with an injury that you're having to battle and kind of manage. I know Coach Barnes was very concerned about that. Very concerned about you and trying to hold you back and pace you so that you compete with an injury. But tell us a little bit about what's going on and where you're going from now with that.
So it's with my shoulder. So we're pretty sure there's a tear in my labrum.
Okay.
So we're getting surgery to get that fixed.
Okay, so you'll be all fixed up, and you think about how fast you swam and pull records, and I believe you were undefeated this year with an injury. So sky truly the limit. We get you repaired and everything goes well, and we know it will. Sky's truly the limit for your senior year. So let's talk about senior year, some goals that you might have in swim, and even after senior year. What are some things that you would like to do?
Well, I'm wanting to finish up my concurrent classes, take a few of those, and then I really want to hope for scholarships for swimming.
Want to go swim?
Yes,
and she mentioned concurrent. Mia is a great student as well. And usually we have a saying here, how you do one thing is how you do all things. You usually don't find a state champion at something that's a horrible student or horrible person, because you just don't get to that level without having that dedication and being driven. And I'm sure a lot of that comes from your family. But I know we're all extremely proud of you. Last thing we're going to do, we have the jar here. You're going to pull a random question. A little fun we have. All right, so her random question is, what is your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show would probably be Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls. I actually know what that is. So my wife likes the Gilmore Girls. So, well, Mia, appreciate you very much for taking time. Summertime, she's here, she's not at school. Appreciate you being here and letting everyone just listen about your story. You're truly amazing, and we can't wait. You know, you're just a junior. You'll be a senior next year, class of 2022. We'll all be excited to be able to come watch and root for you and see what lies ahead. So thank you.
Thank you.